Pair to enter the playing surface here. By now you should be aware of the way this game is played. It was a splendid opening day at the KL World Fives. We saw Brazil, the favourites for the tournament, really struggle to get past China. We've also seen Argentina, of course, crushing England. And we're looking forward to, a little bit later on today, seeing Brazil and Iran, who many feel may be able to cause an upset at this tournament, come up with something. Steve, just having a look at these England lads, they had the one game rather than the two. Physically, how do you think they've pulled up?
They've done okay. I mean, by their own admission, this is a working process, isn't it? It's going to take time for England to take off playing this futsal game, because it's totally different to the norm, if you like. But yes, they can take a lot of positives out of the second half performance, especially.
All right, thanks very much. A lot of skill about the Indonesian side. They've been fast-tracked, really, to this game, an average age of 22. It's a young-ish England outfit. Graham Dell obviously entrusted with making things happen very quickly. Remember, they play World Cup qualifiers starting in 3 weeks' time in Budapest. So everything they do here in Kuala Lumpur essential to their build-up ahead of those World Cup qualifiers. Okay, well, once again, let's remind you it's a FIFA tournament, which means we will be hearing the anthems of both of these sides. Before we do that, we'll have the FIFA anthem as the teams enter the playing surface. Here they come. My game is fair play, and futsal is a game of fair play. We unfortunately saw a red card for the Indonesian goalkeeper yesterday for a handball. I think he was in the opponent's half, actually, Steve, so that could be expected. But generally speaking, it's not a violent game, this, is it?
It can't be, because it's so quick, it's pacey, the ball moves a lot, and you get penalised quite a lot for slide tackle, and so it encourages you to stay on your feet and pass the ball.
Okay, Steve McMahon will be moving to his commentary position shortly, but I just want a quick word off you. What kind of a game do you expect? Who will win it?
I'm actually going to tip England. It's going to be a close game. I don't think there's much in the two sides. Given that Indonesia have played 2 games, I think fatigue might set in with them.
Absolutely. Well, on paper, said Indonesia's manager earlier on, we could win this match, and many of the neutrals were filled that Indonesia will start as favourites. Remember, England having only won 1 of their 46 futsal matches played so far. Okay, that was the FIFA anthem. When that comes to an end, the anthems, national anthems, of course, of both Indonesia and England.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of England.
It's all about pride for Indonesia. Now let's just get the very latest from pitch side. The man who's not afraid to stick his nose into a huddle, Andy Penders, with this before the match. Andy.
Thanks, John. It's actually very cool and breezy here on pitch side. You were saying that the Indonesian team is a very young side. Justin Laksana was saying that he's looking forward to his team learning and developing. He's not too concerned about what the scoreline will be today, just hoping that he can entertain this crowd. As far as England coach Graham Dell, well, he has a lot of respect for Indonesia. He thinks his side will lose, but only by 1 goal.
From him regularly during the course of this Group A encounter. Right, let's get across to our commentators for England against Indonesia, and joining Steve McMahon. First up, you'll be hearing from Mr. Paul Macefield.
Thank you very much, John. It should be a cracking game. You did mention at the top of the show it could be to see who will finish at the bottom of Group A, which is why there is so much at stake, particularly for England. Well, let's have a look at the team lineups, and 2 changes from the starting lineup against Argentina from Graham Dell. Alex Sykes comes in, Eric Pudeloff keeps his place in goal. Let's meet the players.
Mark Canham, pivot.
Richard Follett, captain and defender. Nick Colley, forward.
Alex Sykes, forward. Eric Pudeloff, goalkeeper.
As for Indonesia, all the talk was about Yos Adi getting that red card. He is suspended for today's game, which means Dede will keep his place in goal. Let's meet the Indonesians.
Andri Irawan, player.
Sayan Karmadi, player.
Maulana Muhammad Ihsan, player.
Dede Sulaiman, goalkeeper.
Sukma Nagara, player.
There's the Indonesians in their regular huddle before the games. England just warming up. Eric Pudeloff, you were impressed with him and some of the saves that he made in the first game, Steve? Join him in the commentary position.
Oh, yeah, tremendous, absolutely it was. I mean, he was the closest to Elias for Argentina. He came out, he made a difference, he's good with the ball and without the ball. He made some great saves.
What are your impressions of futsal, Steve? I mean, you are relatively new to the region and new to this game in particular.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, it's a skillful game. It's all about your technique, and we've seen that from Argentina and especially Brazil. It's wonderful to watch. Plenty of goals. It's good for the spectators. And I'm glad to see England got the kick-off, because that was disappointing yesterday.
You did mention when we were talking to Graham Dell earlier that Argentina took the kick-off yesterday and kept possession for nearly 90 seconds, which is a long time in futsal. The rules and regulations will bring you as they happen, but a 20-minute game can last anything up to 45 minutes because we will have 20 minutes of actual game time. England looking to try and push forwards quickly early on, but Indonesia keeping state. That's played down the line. Colley out wide, just pulls it back. Sykes with a shot, just looking for the far post there. Follett, you mentioned him in the first game against Argentina, Steve, about his dynamic running forwards. You liked him?
Who, Sykes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got an eye for goal, and opportunities were limited for England, but what they had, it was Sykes who was part of that.
Here's Dede, who can't afford to get injured or sent off, and there's a strong challenge going in there from Maulana. Pudeloff had to be right on his toes and just launched it the length of the field.
Well, that's what he can do in this, Paul. He's your sweeper. He's the last man. He can come out a goal. He can clean up, and it's good goalkeeping.
Let's not forget that Indonesia did play 2 games yesterday as England looked to break forwards quickly. Canham just in possession. One of the big things that Graham Dell, the England coach, said to us before as well was it was of vital importance that England keep the ball. It was what they tried to do against Argentina. They did it well in the second half, but the first half, unfortunately, the goals came just at the wrong times and England got absolutely punished. This is better from England, though. Here's Sykes looking forwards.
This is what we spoke to Graham Dell, and we touched on it before, Paul, and he said what he wanted England to do is keep the ball better. And in this game, that's what you have to do. Ball retention is so important.
It's of vital importance. Runs off the ball as well. As you can see there, Sayan going into an advanced position, but Indonesia just electing to come back. We did mention that Yos Adi was suspended. That was a handball in the game against Malaysia as England nick it. Was that a slide challenge? No, said the referee, and Indonesia will get the kick in. No throw-ins in this game. They are replaced by kick-ins that have to be taken within 4 seconds. So if you see a referee put his hand in the air, he's actually indicating to the players how long they have to kick the ball in. Here's Sayan. Good skill from Sayan. Sukma looks to keep possession. Indonesians are very well organised, and two fantastic first halves. As the shot comes in, and that's a fantastic save from Pudilov yet again, and Sayan pushed into an advanced position, forces a good save.
Wonderful save, absolutely wonderful. But what I've noticed is that England is tracking runners this time, where he never did against Argentina and got punished. But it's evident that Graham Dell has had a word and said we need to stay. When we don't have the ball, it's important we defend properly.
Seems as though the all-round game from England is looking better. The shape, the passing, the possession, but that was a little bit sloppy there from the captain, Follett. Still no fouls. You'll see at the bottom of your screen there are 5 green dots. That is the foul count. If teams start committing fouls, you will see them turn to red. 5 fouls means an undefended free kick from the 10-metre line.
And it's
the 10-metre spot.
Yeah, and we haven't seen much of that in the tournament. Maybe one game we've seen it in. So that's surprising.
Yes, that was the Brazilian game, of course. We've got Andy Penders on the floor, as John Dykes mentioned earlier. Andy, you've got something for us?
Yeah, just reiterating what Steve was saying, really. The cry from the England bench is basics, basics, and Graham Dell's happy with the start that his side has made.
Thank you, Andy. We'll be getting back and forwards to you as the game progresses. When there's timeouts and when incidents happen, long-range shot comes in, but drilled over from Canham. Man who now plays at Bath City, one of the non-league players in this team. There are quite a few that did start at professional clubs. Follett, for example, was actually at Bolton for a season as that ball's played forwards. But again, Canham puts it out. Here comes Follett. This could be an opportunity for England.
Already though, Paul, I mean, you're talking about like the start they had against Argentina. It was awful. But this is confident, and this is exactly what England wanted, to steady the ship, not to concede early, get some confidence, get some passes, and then see what happens from there.
That's exactly what they've done. We do have to say that Indonesia have changed their 4 outfield players. The 2 previous games that they played against Australia and Malaysia had a different 4 on the pitch from the start.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fair to say that I think Rafa Benitez would love this game because there's lots of rotation in it.
Well, when we see the Brazilian coach a little bit later on, Steve, I'm sure you'll appreciate he does look like Rafa Benitez.
Yeah,
PC de Oliveira.
A bit heavier, but he does look like him, you're right.
Sykes. Well, Sykes tries to poke it forwards, and Canham having a little bit of a pop there because he was in a very good position making that run forwards, but Sykes goes through, Sykes goes in, and so does Dede. No foul, said the referee. Whistles are blown. Committed challenge from both players, though.
Well, they both went for it. Very brave from both players, it really was. It was there to be had. I mean, if Sykes gets a little toe poke on that and gets past the keeper, he's got a chance. It should have been 1-0, I suppose.
Here it is again, Steve, and you can see it's just a coming together, isn't it? Because Sykes did get to the ball first.
Accidental. Yeah, it's brave from 2 players, as I said before. Hopefully they're okay. In fact, the keeper, Indonesian keeper, looks worse off than anybody else, you know.
Well, we do know that Yos Adi is suspended. We did mention that. This could be a real serious problem for Indonesia. Dede Suleiman is the only other goalkeeper that they have in their squad of 12. Remember, 12 players in the squad, 5 on the pitch at any one time, rotating Rafa substitutions according to Steve McMahon. But this is the only other keeper they've got. This could be a big problem. You can see there, Jay Laksana, the Indonesia coach, shaking his head. He can't believe it.
He looks okay, though. You know, we're having a look. We can see a close hand. I think he's going to be okay.
Well, he's up on his toes, and he's back. Just a little bit worried about that knee, but a few little bunny hops, and you can see there it is a mighty clash. Well, Andy Penders was a little bit closer to the action than we are. Andy, what was your take on that?
Justin, the Indonesian coach, I said, have you got a spare keeper who can go in goal? And he looked at me and shrugged his shoulders, and then when the keeper got up to his feet, he gave me a big smile.
Well, Coach Laksana is wearing a green shirt, and normally you associate a green shirt with a goalkeeper. Maybe he could go in. So, just over 4 minutes gone here. Still 0-0 at the magnificent Stadium Negara here in KL. It's the World Fives Brought to you on Star Sports, bringing you all the action throughout the whole tournament as Indonesia pick up the scrappy mess and the long-range shot from Jelani. Just fired it over the top. So the skipper back on for Indonesia, which will please them. Madison, who's just come on as a sub as well, in possession. Allison just with a little roll back, so both sides looking and starting to rotate. You have to keep rotating though, don't you, Steve? Because it's just so physically demanding.
Of course it is. I mean, it's so intense. I mean, the work rate is unbelievable. And when you're down pitch side, humidity is a big factor there as well, Paul. So you have to give players a rest. And it's important tactically how you do that with your substitutions. And this is why it's fascinating, this game. It's not just about the on-the-pitch stuff, it's off-the-pitch stuff as well.
Well, epitomised by England, who have brought their sports scientist with them, Dawn Scott, who is down on the bench. Very instrumental in preparing the players when they landed, their approach physically to how they recuperate from a long trip out from Europe. So England very forward-thinking in those lines.
They're doing it right, Paul. That's the big thing I've noticed with England. They're trying to be as professional as they can, doing all the right things, and it only bodes well for the future. And I hope it continues for a long time to come.
3 new conference leagues will be put into place this year as the ball breaks free and the shot came in. And Denny, who scored against Malaysia, almost got his name on the score sheet there, but again, Pudeloff with a fantastic save. It is, he just created half a yard for himself, pulled the trigger. Pudeloff got down extremely well to save it that time. Dede been told and urged to break forwards, and well, he's gone down again. That is a major, major issue and a major worry. Steve, it looks as though it was a nothing. So maybe is that knock that's come back to haunt him?
Obviously, there's a big problem because there's nobody near him. He's kicked the ball out, and all of a sudden he's gone down in a heap. So it looks as though they got to make a substitution. I can't see any other way.
Laksana has pointed, the coach Laksana has pointed straight away to Sayan Karmadi. Let's just have a look at this again. He flicks it forwards, and did he just get caught again?
He didn't. No, I think there's a problem there from the initial challenge he had.
Dede gingerly being helped to his feet by the Indonesian physio. Real concern on the Indonesian bench, and quite rightly so. They know that if they lose this game, that will be the 3rd game that they have lost. And surely absolutely no way back for them to get anything from any of their remaining games.
It's quite clear, though, if the keeper's struggling, and even if the replacement keeper, Sayan, comes on, then England have got a job to do, and that is to pepper the keeper, is to make him work and to try and make him make mistakes, and that's what England must do. They must exploit this.
Well, here we go. Here is the substitution. Sayan comes in as a reserve goalkeeper. The 23-year-old will be asked just to mind or tend at the goal, and you can be sure of one thing, Dede will be being worked on extremely vigorously by the physios down there to try and get him into some shape of playing. And there's England's tactic straight away. Sykes drilling it across the goal. Shane Gill almost on the end of it. So Indonesia indirectly playing the power play because Sayan is the goalkeeper.
The only bonus.
There could be a goal. What a good save again from Pudeloff. Well, that extra man, Sayan pushing forwards, causing England problems straight away.
Well, there's the plus and the minus for Indonesia. The goalkeeper is probably not a good
well, it's free
stopper.
again, and it could be in from Denny, but again a good save from Pudeloff. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, it's okay. And what I'm saying is he's probably not a good goalkeeper as such as a shot stopper, but he becomes an extra outfield player.
Well, we do know that Andy Penders is down there at pitch side. Andy, you've got an update for us on Dida.
Just talking to the coach, he says Sayan has played in goal before, so he can play between the sticks.
Well, absolutely no problem then, Steve McMahon.
No, but I'd still be, as an England player, I'd be saying, let's test this keeper. Let's see what he's made of. Let's see if he really can do the job.
Well, we've already seen he is like Jos Addy and pushing up as the pivot player, trying to cause England a few problems. And just twice there in a very, very short space of time, England nearly got caught. but it is England who have the corner. Well, that was a set play that just went wrong.
Almost. It was clever. It was. I mean, you see the whole block peeled off from the back stick, round the D, and try to get a shot in, but the pace was too. The pass was too pacey.
You were having a little bit of a laugh and a joke with him before the game, weren't you, Steve?
Yes, he was looking at Jamie O all the time. I said to him, concentrate on the game in hand, never mind Jamie O.
Shot comes in, it's just wide. That would have been the first goalkeeper scoring in this tournament had Sayan hit the back of the net. Good defending from Indonesia. Dene just flicks it forwards. Angga, little back flick there for Socrates, who just drills it over. And again, another opportunity. Indonesia not sitting back. Goalkeeper or no goalkeeper. England this time crowd out the middle of the park, and breaking forwards is Colley. Colley just gets caught, but wins it back. Strong in the challenge. Holbrook with a long-range shot, fired just wide. Sayan moving across there.
Gingerly.
A little bit of experience. I mean, he knew where these posts were.
Well, he had to. But it's a good strike. Well hit, but he just didn't hit the target. Got to hit the target, test the keeper, the standing keeper.
Could be a chance here. Socrates! Good block. Another rebound and another good block. No slide challenge, said the referee yet again. Angga, who nearly got his name on the score sheet, just missed that opportunity. Socrates comes short. Jelani with a shot deflected over. Good pressure here from Indonesia.
They've had all the chances, Paul. They really have. I mean, England, they're on down 4. They're giving the ball away now. Far too easy. And it's causing problems for England. Puddleoff has made some great saves already. And England are desperate with the blocks and the challenges that they're having to make, as we've just seen there from Gill.
Shane Gill coming across there and just putting the block on. That's exactly what you're talking about. Here one has come back on the pitch. It's gone out wide. Jelani to Socrates. Sayan. Long range shot. Good save there from Puddleoff. And it's all because Sayan was pushed on the standing goalkeeper. I hear, Andy Penders, you've got more news for us.
Yeah, with Dede, the goalkeeper, he's got a lot of strapping on his right knee, which he says hurts a lot, but he reckons he is going to get back out on the pitch.
Fantastic news for Indonesia. They might not need it, though, because the goal comes in from the skipper, Jelani. Literally created out of nothing, but pokes it home from about 7 metres. And again, England trying that quick tactic of the quick kickoff. It was a FIFA initiative. We'll talk about that in a minute as we see the goal. Steve, it was a great strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we've seen the technique again. You don't have to hit it with your laces, it's a toe poke. And I've seen lots of that in this tournament.
Well, just had a shot there. What you didn't see is England got the ball and rushed to take the kickoff. They did it the other day, and the referees were saying, no, wait for the whistle. Apparently 18 months ago, FIFA said any over-exuberations when your team scores a goal, then basically the other team can kick off and yellow cards will be shown. So England keen to get on with things, Steve.
Yes, they always are. I mean, that's what they try to play on, but they need to now settle it down a little bit, England.
Can they get the ball in? It's very, very tight over there. Shot comes in, and it's a fantastic save from Sayan. What a good opportunity that was. Andy, you've got a little bit more for us.
Yeah, I spoke to Graham before the match about taking the kick-off quickly. He wants to instill some good practices by his players and wants to see more yellow cards. As you rightly said, that FIFA initiative was introduced, but it's not being backed by the officials.
Volley comes in and it's just over. Thanks again, Andy. It's a hectic up here in the commentary booth. It's even more hectic down there on the field. Do you think Indonesia deserve the lead, Steve?
Yes, they do. On balance and on chances, yes, they do. But it's not bad from England. I mean, they've had a couple of half chances themselves, but I still think they've got to test this keeper a bit more.
Sayan, goalkeeper. What goalkeeper? Well, that's him there. Dida hopefully returning to action very shortly, but there could be half a chance here. Well, nearly a chance there for Benny to make amends of the own goal that he scored against Malaysia. Push forward there. Just couldn't keep possession. So England look to surge on. Allenson, the little layoff to Canham. Canham rolls it forwards. The poke from behind means it's going to be a kick in for England. England, let's not forget, have only ever won one international game in their history. That was against Greece, 8-7 on the 17th of December in 2007. The very next day, they drew with Greece 2-2. And they've only drawn one other game before that. But quite coincidentally, Stuart Pearce was actually at that game, Steve. Is this going to be a new initiative from England to look at futsal as a serious way of producing players for the future?
I hope so, because it's lots of fun. And in the current climate in England, you can play it. It's an indoor sport, so there's no excuses for this game not to develop in England, for youngsters especially. I think it's a great game to play. Good fun.
Cyan with a long-range shot there. Just drills it over. Got the ball stuck under his feet. That's better from England. Allenson just couldn't get past his man. Good block there from Ahmed. Ahmed there with the strong challenge on the very tall Allenson, it does have to be said. England conceding possession just a little bit too easy. Steve, it just seems as though they've dropped a gear, England, because the first 5 minutes they kept the ball extremely well, but they've allowed Indonesia to get back into the game and force their way back into the game, haven't they?
Well, that's right. And when you concede a goal, the heads drop a little bit. You know, the thing is to themselves, here we go again. But they've got to forget about that and just carry on regardless. There's a chance, an opportunity in this game for them to get back in. It's only 1-0 down. They're playing well enough. And what is good for me is they're starting to defend properly. The diamond system is working, as Graham Dell touched on before the game.
It's all a little bit too stretched against Argentina. Hence lots and lots of goals in that first half. Here's Cyan looking for another long-range shot. Just elects to go sidewards to Andre. That's poor. There could be a shot on here for England. It's taken too long, but Madison picks it up. Madison shoots. Good save. Well, Cyan tested, and he was up to the mark.
He's not bad, is he? The other keeper doesn't want to come on now. No, it was a great save, but a good break, and that's the danger when the keeper wants to go forward. He's an outfield player.
But shouldn't Allison have shot there? I mean, he's in his own half. The keeper's on the halfway line. Surely an early shot there. Just try your luck.
Well, it's a vision. He didn't have the vision to spot that, and good players and great players do that, and they have the vision to see the keeper off his line.
It is a game where you need to play with your head up. You need to see the runs, know where people are. And it is critical in futsal, isn't it, Steve?
Yes. Now, if it goes to, I'd now get one of my players to go and push on that last man, the goalkeeper, because if you pinch it now, there, you've got half a chance and you're in on goal. Now, England done that particularly well against Argentina. If they do this against Indonesia, I think they'll win the ball higher up and create more opportunities.
Well, they just seem to be dropping into their own half and trying to keep a shape. So, as it comes forward, then they get crowded out. Here is Cyan.
Now break.
Puddle off. Well, you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle, Steve.
He shouldn't have bought any ticket there. I mean, he should have just laid it into his own players and keep possession.
Well, we do see Dede coming back onto the field as we just have another look there at the shot from Puddleoff. We do hear that England are looking to try and call a timeout. It has been requested to the third referee. 2 referees in futsal. One either side, both can use their whistle, but the main referee can overrule his second referee, and the third referee actually sits alongside the timekeeper. Could be a chance here, though. Benny with a little layoff. Andre slowing it down. Milana plays it back. Dede will not be wanting to see much of this ball at all. Uses his left foot to clip it forwards, and still in tremendous pain, the goalkeeper, hobbling around in his own box. Skubala just come on as a sub, and could be a problem here, but Canham just does enough.
Yeah, he did enough. I actually think Indonesia were better with the outfield keeper in. I really do. I think they were more positive. I think they looked dangerous with the extra outfield player as such. because England are not having many shots at goal, so you don't really need the keeper.
Well, let's try and listen in to Graham Dell and hear what he's got to say to his team.
If it's not on, keep possession. Now, listen, the worst thing that's happened for us is the goalkeeper going, because they've now got to play with the outfield player. If we sit back, and this is the difference from what we were talking about this morning, that's fine what you're doing there, because there will be times where you've got to do that. But where they're up there and the keeper's got the ball, I'm going to say to you now, let's lock onto them in their half so we negate the fifth player that they've got. So we're playing as four, locking on, and let's encourage him to throw the ball out and distribute. There will be times where they'll come on and do that. But if you can, and lock on them in the first half and create in their half and create the pressure, that's what you've got to do. Okay? But it's more of the same, and the lads that are going to come on and regenerate, it's that doggies that you've got to do. Just be conscious that you're actually pressuring the ball each time. Away you go. Sorry?
Regenerate, doggies, Steve?
Yeah, it's all the terms that we use in the big game, isn't it? The 11-a-side. And you have to do doggies, and you have to work hard. Doggies means little shuttle runs, backwards and forwards, closing down. It's just what I said. You need to put pressure on that last man. And if you do that and win the ball higher up, England will have a chance.
Seems as though you're taking to this game, Steve, like a fish would to water. Puddle off, long ball forwards, knocked down. Half a chance here, maybe. For Canham, no. And the kick-in does go against England as well.
That's where the pressure, Paul. That's what we're on about. Last man, pressure them, make them make mistakes in their half.
And you can't pass back to the keeper. Let's just explain that rule quickly. If your goalkeeper has touched the ball, there's a long-range shot comes in, but he's blocked by Socrates. The ball must cross the halfway line before the goalkeeper can touch the ball again.
That's why it's important to pressure. Once the keeper rolls it out, then force them into mistakes. And that's what will happen, because they're not technically gifted, Indonesia, the way Argentina were.
So England look to just try and force something down the right-hand side. It doesn't work, though.
You said it, force, and we shouldn't force the issue. England, just be patient, keep the ball. That's what they need to do. Never mind forcing the issue. Here's a half a chance here for England.
Half a chance, it breaks, but it's wide. Thrown forwards. It's gone back straight to Puddleoff, who'll start to get things going again. Holbrook, move the ball. We can hear that from the commentary position. England being asked to keep it zipping around.
But it's a little bit static, Paul. That's why you can see that when the ball stops. This game is not meant to be played at a slow pace. It should be played at a tempo, at a high tempo. I know they can't do it all of the time, but that's what the rotation is all about. Players must move, pass, move, intricate passing, and force the issue a little bit more.
Jelani with a kick in. To keep possession. Slows down quickly. Strong challenge, no slide challenge there from Holbrook, who breaks forward with it again. Holbrook shoots. Batted away by Dede, and there could be a chance for Indonesia, but well read by England. A little bit of a niggle afterwards there, and that is the first foul of the half. And it will go against Indonesia. There it is, Steve.
Yeah,
just a slide tackle.
It's late.
It's going to be a shot from England. No, it's not. Colley pulls the trigger, but that's gone high and it's gone over. Indonesia desperate to call a timeout. That's exactly what coach Jay Laksana does. Pulls his side in, and we will have 1 minute. Each side is allowed a 1 minute timeout per half, and this time it's Indonesia that have called it. Let's have a look, as we know that Jay Laksana does like to get his little board out.
Mereka ngepres, Denny dapat bola ke sini, main 4-0 dulu. Yang terjadi sekarang ini maju. Kira udah bola mau gimana? Ya kan? Seperti kita perhatikan, kita main 3-1 pada saat kita di press. Passing, lari ke depan atau muter ke belakang, satu tarik lapangan. Nah, ini yang terjadi. Kita merah, oke? Jadi yang di depan Angga doang, Denny tetap di belakang ya. Jadi bisa bikin wall pass. Masuk. baru kita ke depan. Ya, kita inter more pass. Karena pada saat kita satu line,
don't be afraid to play it around and look for the wall passes to go through them. Well, don't forget, you can join all the action. You have a chance to play Nokia Man of the Match. Now, you can win Nokia mobile phones every week on ESPN and Star Sports. Don't forget, just SMS ESSMOTM and the player's name to the required number, and you can win some great prizes there, courtesy of Nokia. Lots and lots of phones and Premier League jerseys of your choice. It is a competition that you really should be in. Let's get straight down to Andy Penders. I think Andy's got a little update for us on that timeout from Indonesia.
Yeah, while you were listening to Indonesia, I was listening to England. And what Graham had to say, he was really concentrating his players on driving into the corners. He also had a little bit of a go at the officials for that second sliding tackle.
Thank you very much, Andy. Do you agree, Steve?
Well, I don't know. The decision was given for England, so you get on with it. It's not a problem, not an issue. England must concentrate on the game, never mind the officials.
Just under 4.5 minutes to go as a shot came in there from Gilbert, again blocked by Indonesia. Forward are the cries from England. Colley, who's back on the field, finds Gill. It is just that quality of movement that seems to be lacking from England's play, Steve.
Very much so. When you're static, it's hard. It really is a difficult game to play when you're standing still.
You're going to be a very happy man. You'll think Indonesia are a little bit better now with Sayan, who's come on. Could be a chance. It's slid just wide. Hanga had the opportunity to get his second of the tournament, but he pushed it just wide.
There's no point in the keeper staying on if he's injured. Sayan is decent enough anyway. We've seen that. He can make saves, but he also adds the pressure for the outfield player. He adds that fifth player, if you like, as the outfield player to put pressure on England. I prefer that system than the proper goalkeeper, as it happens. There's a chance, or a half chance.
Half chance that's blocked by Jelani. Colley in a little bit of a hospital ball. Long range shot just goes wide. Allenson there. This is where that first time out where Graham Dell was talking to the players about pushing and forcing the issue. You can see him on the sidelines there, urging his players to go forwards. Again, the ball must cross the line now before Sayan can touch it.
That's the one. When your keeper's rolled it out, you just go and squeeze the play, and that's what he's trying to encourage the England players to do.
You'll allow Sayan to come forwards, but that's not too bad at times. Denny, Sayan playing as the pivot, finds Socrates. Socrates with a little step over, goes to ground very easily. Play on, say the officials. Madison with a little roll back to Colley. Allenson finds Madison. Sykes tried to just fire that across goal. Won't get much change out of the skipper Jelani, though, who's breaking forwards here with the ball. Jelani steps inside quite comfortably. Jelani shoots, deflected wide. Again, yeah, quick counter-attacking football.
He's a tricky little player, isn't he, Jelani? He's got good feet, yeah.
Very good, very tricky. He is their best player. We've seen that in the two previous games. Here he is again on the ball. Sayan. Stacked in as the pivot again. Now's the chance, but unfortunately Sykes couldn't get it under control. Good play that time from Socrates. Shoots. Could be a chance. It's gone just past the post, and it was a half chance. And what a golden opportunity for Anga.
Yes, should have been 2-0, Paul. Should have been. But, I mean, they're playing a dangerous game, Indonesia. They really are. There's chances, and there will be chances for England. But
Jelani, 2-on-1. Jelani looks to go himself. Jelani shoots. Good save again from Pudeloff.
Great save by Pudeloff. He's made himself very, very big. And he's had to do that this half. He's had to make really good saves to keep England in it.
There's Denny. England adopting 3 defenders at the back, not wanting to force the issue just yet, but that hasn't gone over the halfway line, so that's when they press. Has a chance to do that now, and it does. So Jelani just takes it in. A little bit of experience there from the 23-year-old, making sure it goes across the halfway line so he can play the ball back. Coming up to the final 2 minutes of this half, Steve.
They're playing the rules well, see? Very, very good. That means England can't go on close because you get it exposed.
Jelani has exposed them here! It looked as though he took a little bit of a nick, but that's Jelani's second. All because Cyan was pushed on and causing England all sorts of problems. Great strike, Steve.
It was
Did
deflection.
take a little nick, though.
And not a little nick, it was a massive deflection. It really was. You see it, of Madison. It is wicked. Absolutely. He'll be livid, the goalkeeper. Absolutely livid.
Holbrook just rolls it inside. England with the kick in. Quite strange that though, Steve, isn't it? They had no keeper, yet Indonesia have scored 2 goals.
That's why I think it's a good tactic, and he's been instrumental. Cyan, he's come out, he's starting it all. He's the playmaker, if you like, and he's creating the extra man, which is good tactics. And I wish England keeper would do that a bit more, a bit like Elias for Argentina, where he comes out and he plays, he makes the extra man, and this is why this game is fascinating, because you can do that, and you can put teams under pressure by the extra man outfield.
We saw he went very, very close, didn't he, in that game yesterday against England. Drove forwards, it opened all up for him. He drilled one from about 10 metres, but unfortunately just went wide. A real talent, no questions about that. Andrew there just trying to flick it forwards, and comfortably England allow that one to go out. Rotations, substitutes on and off all the time. Foley back on now, as is Madison. Flicks it forwards. Holbrook with a little flick. Madison trying to create half a yard for himself. Corner's been given by the second official on the far side, so that's where futsal is slightly different, but that's also good because they can work and communicate together.
Yes, and I mean fair play. That's what they're there for, to make decisions like that. Oh, dearie me.
It's going to be a goal, and it's going to be a simple tap-in. Not even Sukma is going to miss from there. The England defence at 6s and 7s, and Indonesia, well, they're in cruise control. They're 3 up here. They haven't got a goalkeeper, and we've got 30 seconds left in the first half.
They don't need a goalkeeper. That's the top and bottom of it. I mean, that was a calamity. It really was. The keeper should have stayed on his line. He was getting tracked back, and he's no need to come out of his goal. Big mistake for him just before half-time. Just what England don't need.
Steve, will the heads drop? Will they go down? I mean, you mentioned earlier on when you concede the first and you haven't been winning games, it's like, oh no, here we go again. But now, to be 3 down at the break, what will they need to do?
They need to change. They need to change the tactics a little bit. I really do. I think they need to get it right, pressing all together, not in 1s and 2s. They've got to go in 3s and 4s, and that's what they're not doing, Paul. They're allowing Indonesians to bypass them and pass around them.
Jelani there nipped in front, managed to draw the free kick. So the foul count is at 1 for England, 1 for Indonesia. Cyan will be taking this, just rolls it forwards. Again, there's that press because the ball hasn't got out of the half. That was better though from Andre. Trip off the ball given with a second on the clock, and the England bench up in arms with that, Steve.
Yes, it was a late
and a yellow card as well to Jelani.
Don't think it matters much. I mean, it's a good foul to commit. If there's ever a good foul, that was a good foul to commit.
Well, with only 1 second left on the clock, you've got to say this has to go goal bound. It does. There's the horn. Steve, thoughts on the first half deserved from Indonesia?
Yes, very much so. They've had the better chances. They've played the game in the way it should be played. They've used the space well. The movement is better than England's. And especially the keeper was important for them.
KL World Fives. It's fantastic action here from Kuala Lumpur. England are losing 3-0 to Indonesia. Analysis from Steve McMahon and John Dykes after this.
told to do something, but they're not doing it properly. They're coming unstuck. They're letting them away. John.
Nice to meet you. How are you today? Good, man. Good. Who?
Okay, let's tell you about Portsmouth against Chelsea. That's coming up on Star Soccer Saturday here on Star Sports. Live action from the Barclays Premier League Saturday, and they'll be with you just before kickoff, 5 to 11 in the Hong Kong time zone. Welcome back to the Stadium Negara. It's been a fantastic showing by Indonesia so far. They really have been outstanding in the first half, with an injured goalkeeper to boot against an England team, which I know has disappointed you, Steve McMahon. 3-0, the half-time score. Explain it, please.
Very naive. I don't think they know exactly whether to press or to drop off. And what happens there is indecision rules, because only one or two are going close and the other two are stepping off. And that means they're getting bypassed with trickery. And they are quite clever, the Indonesians.
Plenty of trickery from Jelani in particular, but of course the real talking point, the fact that the goalkeeper has been off twice now. It's meant that they've put on an outfield player and he's made an extra man up, and that's where England have been confused. But they've shown some quality. I mean, let's face it, Jelani here going through with a lovely finish. They've had the better players, haven't they?
Yes, they have, and they've created the better chances. Now, this is where it's different to the big game, the Premier League stuff, if you like, where you can toe poke things and roll the ball over the sole of your boot. And Indonesia are doing that better than England.
Allenson there coming in with a decent strike, but it's been long-range efforts really by England most of the way. They don't seem to have a smart enough, sharp enough touch around the edge of the D there, Steve. Normally with the Argentines, Brazilians, one touch and then the ball gets shot away early.
And there was two problems there. Allison just played it to his feet. He wanted it into the space. So appreciation of the man receiving the ball was not good for England, and he took his time. You don't get that much time in this game.
So, is there a way back for England? They have created one or two chances. Surely they can't afford to concede again. And this really did hurt them, didn't it?
Yes, I mean, they're giving the ball away. It's too cheaply. See, I mean, it's chance after chance for Indonesia. But I'd even like to see an outfield player come on and go a bit like Indonesia, because it makes it an exciting game. England have got nothing to lose. They might get more possession. They can overload the midfield area and take the chances.
Well, it really was an exciting half because there was so much to talk about in terms of injuries and incident. Little deflection as that one went through, but Jailani puts a great strike on the ball. You see this from the really top nations as well. They will hit the ball on target hard.
Yeah, he's tried to move out the way, Madison, and as he moved out the way, it's hit him on the chest, and it took a wicked deflection past the keeper.
So the captain leading from the front, 2 goals for him, and then of course Erik Pudlov having a rush of blood way out of goal, and that was as easy as you like for goal number 3.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, Follett's tracking the man back anyway. He's in no danger at all, and Pudlov comes out and makes a right mess of it.
Absolutely. Well, Sukma Negara it was with the 3rd goal there, 3-0 to the Indonesians, and it must have been a bit of a headache for their coach, but I can tell you that Justinus Laksana has had a fantastic first half. We can get his thoughts on that. Let's get down to Andy Penders with the Indonesian coach.
Justinus, an action-packed first half.
Yeah, sure. We know what they do. We defense very tight with a lot of patience, so we let them do the fall in their passing because I know their passing is not that good. And we do a lot of counter-attack, good ball possession, fast ball possession. I think we deserve to go ahead with 3-0 is okay. The most important thing is to maintain this score because my keeper is injured. So that's why my second keeper is actually a player, did quite well. So let's see what we're going to do in the second half.
And the way he was so emotional about it there. Listen, I spoke to him before the game got underway today. They want this win badly, and it shows, doesn't it?
God, I mean, talking about the coach getting excited, he was running to the England bench and he was thrusting his fist in the air, you know, so it does mean a hell of a lot to this side, you can see that.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at some matches played either last night or earlier today. Last night, Group B, and it was Thailand against Holland. Chevy Singh reckons this was the best match he's seen so far in this tournament. The Dutch, a former power at this sport. They were finalists at the first ever World Cup, but this is a transitional Dutch side up against an excellent Thai team. Look out for this guy, one of brothers, and he really, Ekapong, really is a quite outstanding player. One of 2 goals in this match. And it was an end-to-end affair, the lead changing hand time and time again. And the Dutch getting themselves back in front. Very well matched, these 2 sides. Now, this is the sort of incident that you see. He didn't use his hands on that occasion. It worked out brilliantly to the advantage. And that's as sweet a strike as you'll see, Steve.
Great play, and this is what it's all about, this game. This is fast and furious. The keeper is important for me. He really is a big game player, and you've got to use it to your advantage. Toe poke again there, John. You've seen it on 3 occasions in this game.
That is Ekapong, and he is the number 10. His brother, Ekapan, isn't bad either, but he's the player who really has been making the difference for them. As it was, the Dutch were staring down the barrel of a defeat, which really would have been a shock for them, but they came good at the end. This was late at night last night, and look at what it means to them. That one going in there from Karim Ajnani. Great game, Steve, by the way, this one.
Absolutely. And I think you've got contrasting styles of play, haven't you? You know, they were strong, Holland, and they were very tricky, Thailand.
So it was fascinating that Thailand actually found themselves playing late at night on day 1, but they also would have found themselves having to get ready for a match in the morning at the start of day 2. Now, their opposition at the start of day 2 today was a Chinese team which had defended brilliantly against Brazil, the favourites for the tournament, in their opening match. Unfortunately, the Chinese just didn't seem to have the capacity to handle Thailand in this one. They were 5-0 down by half-time. And guess who? My favourite, Ekapong, opening things up. This guy has got a great left foot, Steve.
Hasn't he just, yeah? A sweet left foot, as we say. But this is where the difference was yesterday, and China defended for their life. Now they have to take the game to Thailand. He couldn't do so.
He's got a right foot as well. That was Ekapong with a second there. But look at what China have done wrong. Completely different from yesterday, where they just got behind the ball. Today they've tried to get forward, and they've paid the price. That's a neat finish.
Yes, it is a neat finish. It's a clever finish. But as you just said, when China go forward, they leave themselves exposed. They didn't have a chance against Brazil to go forward.
Ekapan going for the nutmeg there. They really were turning on the style, the Thais, and they are a splendid team. They get close to Iran, who are the best team in Asia. They normally get within 3 or 4 goals of them, and that says a lot about Iran, because you must like what you're seeing from the Thais here, Steve.
Oh, brilliant. They play with a freedom, don't they? And you can see they're all enjoying themselves. And it's a very pacey game they play, with lots of tricks as well. Skillful game. They know what it's all about. They play with a smile on their face.
Well, they're very well suited to this game, Thailand. They have tremendous skill. They've got a tremendous work ethic as well. and they have been extremely impressive in the matches we've seen so far. So China fought hard. They've got good spirit about them. Remember, they've got a Brazilian coach, Farinha, and they got a reward towards the end. They managed to get a goal, and that's excellent for them, really, because it was just a defensive job, as I said, against the Brazilians yesterday, and they were hoping to open their account. It's a tough group for them, but that is maybe the only goal they'll take away from this.
Oh, well, at least it's a goal. They've said if they've scored in a competition, and they've done particularly well. And like a few of the teams in this tournament, John, I think it's a work in process, and everybody's learning the game, aren't they?
So 5-1 the final score, and of course that was the first match played here on day 2 of the KO World Fives. Let's give ourselves a break, give Steve a bit of a break before he starts thinking about the second half between England and an Indonesian side, which is rampant. 3-0 up. Are they going to build on that in the second half? We'll be back with it in a moment. Be sure to catch Star Sports' weekly golf magazine show, Golf Focus, which gets back into action on February the 6th. Look out for that. But right now we're focusing on futsal. And back at the Stadium Negara, it's really a tall order for the second half for Graham Dell, England's manager. His team trails Indonesia by 3-0. What can he do? Let's find out now. Andy Penders is with him.
Thanks, John. Graham, you must be very disappointed after that first half.
Yeah, I think it's a bit disappointment to go in 3 goals down. I think that that's probably a reflection of 11-a-side players playing futsal and converting from one form to another. But we've got to keep working away at the game plan. And we came off the park, not necessarily done exactly what I wanted them to do, and I've let them know that, and they know that as well. So we'll come back in the second half and make sure that we can apply ourselves as I want them to do. It's a bit difficult as well with the goalkeeper going off because we've got to have 2 different types of game plan. One if they play the fifth outfield player, and one with the goalkeeper. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I've also said to we need to get forward. We're not getting forward enough. We're not moving the ball quickly enough. We've got too many touches, and in futsal you just need to move that ball that bit quicker. So we'll have to see how they come up to in the second half.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, John.
Many thanks, Eddie Penders. So Graham Dell wants his team to play more like futsal players than 11-a-side players, move that ball quickly and fewer touches. With that, let's get back to our commentator, Paul Macefield.
Thank you very much, John. Steve is now nestled up next to me. He's run over from the camera position to the commentary booth. Steve, wise words there from Graham Dell. Was it a little bit of the hairdryer treatment as well, it sounded, because he did say that he let the players know he wasn't happy.
Yes, you could see that. He was furious. Yeah, and he didn't apply themselves properly. Game plan went out the window. there were players just playing as individuals. You've got to play as a team and a unit in this game.
Changing goal, Dean Thornton is brought on for his 9th cap for England. And we see Indonesia straight away starting with the tactic of putting Sayan in goal. Remember, Yosadi is suspended for 1 match after being sent off in the last game against Malaysia. This will be one of the tactics that Graham Dell will be talking about, where they'll drop players off a little bit deeper. Jelani just rolls it back, scorer of 2 goals in that first half. 2 great strikes as well. Socrates flicks it forwards. This is Indonesia's best 5. Apart from the keeper, obviously, but Sayan is still a quality player as he tries to break forwards, looks to try and smash it in there. Jelani gets caught in possession. Sykes with a chance. Sykes shoots, but Sayan just gets a big toe to that one and pokes it wide.
Needs more composure, Paul. He can't. There's 2 men on the line. He can't just drive that in. He needs to be a bit more cute. And again, technique comes into play there.
Canham flicks it wide. Here's Sykes again. What a block and what a challenge that was from Denny. Man that scored against Indonesia. Did ever so well to put the block on there. Follett takes it. Gone back out. So England looking to try and impose themselves this half. Long range shot, but again, we do see, Steve, and we didn't see it there from England. Canham had gone into the middle, didn't track the far post, and that's vitally important in this game, isn't it?
That's right, Pomo position, and that's what we're talking about. And that's what England don't do well enough. Have a man coming in at the back stick for chances like that and opportunities like that. Every other side in the tournament actually get that man coming late to the far post.
Here's the keeper, Thornton. Canham plays it forwards. Foley just lays it off wide to Gill. Gill just couldn't keep possession, which means that it's gone out. So Indonesia look to kickstart themselves. And they're looking to keep possession, but conceding it. So England can push forwards a little bit more here. We are seeing Dean Thornton, the goalkeeper, pushed on a little bit more, Steve.
But let's, I mean, this is the type of game where they can experiment, England.
Oh, just hit the bar. Oh, there is a chance. Follett gets his 2nd of the tournament. Well, they didn't experiment much because Thornton was well back just on the edge of the halfway line, but the players going forwards made the difference. Gill rolled it across, it hit the bar, and Follett followed up.
Yeah, this will give England lots and lots of confidence and the spirit, maybe to get another one. If they get another one, this will be interesting.
Graham Dell will be extremely happy with that one. Denny to Sayan. Sayan shoots from range, closed down by Gill. So Indonesia not done yet, and again we can see Jay Laksana on the sidelines just barking instructions out at Sayan, the keeper. Just wonder whether he wants him to push in an even further forward position, Steve.
Yeah, well, what they should do, they should close Sayan down, but take him down one way. Look at that, that's too easy.
It's just simple. Socrates, not Mark. We get the Egyptian again, and it's Anga who just gambled, went to the middle of the goal, and just tapped it in. And it was as simple as that, Steve.
It's just bad marking, and that's what you can't afford to do. They just got themselves back in the game, Paul, and yet they concede a stupid goal at this moment in time.
Collie guilty there of not tracking the runner. So the brief high that England just experienced after scoring now becomes a little bit of a low. Here's Thornton trying to adopt Indonesia's tactics. Creeps into the other half. Foley just in the pivot position. Gill goes past his man. Gill pulls the trigger. Good save again from Sayan.
But nobody's coming in back stick again, Paul. He's just waiting out there. It's unbelievable. Canham, who's standing in the corner flag, and he should be following the ball in far post. Good save by Thornton there.
Needed to be, because Jelani has already shown that it can score goals. Be a little bit careful though. the first yellow card that Indonesia have received. And Jelani's the man that's got it. Great block that time from Foley. Added to his tally there. So that's 2 goals for the tournament for him. Jelani looks to break forwards. Jelani with space. Jelani with a little poke. And the shot there from Anger again just goes wide. Good save from Thornton. Had to make himself big and went down extremely well. Just to the far post, flick behind, and it's going to be another corner. Andy, you've got an update for us? Well, there is Cyan. Thank you very much, Penders. But Indonesia, well, they're running amok now at the moment. Denny, again, another very, very soft goal, Steve McMahon, to concede.
I mean, once bitten, twice shy. It shouldn't happen a second time. It's silly, and it's awful defensive play by England. That's what's letting them down time and time again. Walk through the defence, nobody's closed him down. Simple goal.
Just see it here, I mean, Denny picks it up, runs straight at the heart and just pokes it in from 6 metres, and it is very, very soft. So that's his second for the tournament as well.
They're losing the discipline, England. They're getting frustrated. You can see by the body language they're starting to have a go at each other. They've got to keep as a team.
Let's get straight back to Andy Penders, who's got yet another update for us. Andy?
Yeah, interesting to see how the England bench reacted to that goal. Absolutely furious that they all stood off their man.
Shot comes in from England, straight down the real keeper Dede's arms. Thank you, Penders, again. So would the England bench have been livid?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get yourself back in the game, especially at 3-1. Then you get this really, I mean, one of the most bizarre. Oh, look at this again.
They've hit the post
yes,
very easy.
But it's so easy for Indonesia to go forward and create chances and obviously score goals. They were right back in England, and then they just give the game away effectively.
Well, they have with a scoreline of 5-1 at the moment. Indonesia really, really in the ascendancy. Passing it around, looking comfortable. Good movement, good passing. Of course, the commentator's curse always comes back to haunt them.
Yes,
say
exactly.
They're doing it right and they kick it out. Sykes fires it up the line, straight into Foley. Little ball inside. Bit of a battle going on there. Here comes Sukma. Nice little turn there from Ahmad. Just trying to create a yard for himself. Long range effort there, but easily taken by Thornton's. Good strong challenge by Mulana. San just rolls it inside. Sukma.
See, this is where you
a little bit there.
Tactically, you've got to then be astute here, England. I would leave Sykes up front on his own. There's nothing in the rules that states you can't leave someone on the edge of the D. That then forces Indonesia to make a decision. And that's what I would do. At this stage of the game, you've got nothing to lose. Experiment. Let's see what the opposition do. And that's what I would do. And I'd actually choose the keeper as well and get an outfield player on as well.
Very attack-minded, Steve.
Well, this is what the game lends itself to. It lends itself. You get them beat 5-1. It lends itself to do this.
But when you're playing against a side that can pass the ball around, it's when you could get caught in, you know, they'll have a man advantage when they go forward if you just leave somebody
you have a man
there.
advantage when you've got the ball, and you have outfield players keeping the ball and better possession. You've got to make the opposition think about the game, and that's what England are not doing.
There's Sukma, just kicks it out of play because he couldn't go back to his goalkeeper. Means that Indonesia can get set. Canham getting the ball stuck under his feet.
This game gives you license to do that and to play little games like this and experiment. And that's what they should be doing more, England.
Could be a chance here. Good defending from Sukma. Just managed to get a foot to that. The referee insisting that the ball be placed on the spot where it crossed the line. Chance for England. Good save. DD came, was big and strong and batted it away. A little bit better from England.
Good skill.
Good challenge there from Maulana. It's Maulana! And that's gone off the line. No handball, said the assistant referee. Canham was back there. Another chance.
It's a great chance. 2-on-1. He should have pulled it back to his teammate, but he was very selfish. Had a go at goal, and it should have been 6-1.
Can England break? 2-on-1 if it's threaded through quickly. Not threaded through quickly enough, though. And as it is, England waste yet another opportunity to keep possession.
It's got a bit sterile again, Paul, hasn't it?
It slowed down just a little bit too much, I think, for everybody's liking. So England need to do something to try and get back into this and up the tempo. Allenson played it down the line. There he is again. Just cleared by Ahmad. Thornton just rolls it out from the goalkeeping position again. Canham just dropping into the pivot roll. Here comes Thornton, fires it in to Colley.
Colley's second touch was a header there, Paul. It really was. It was a terrible touch.
It's not easy to do with a ball like this either, is it? Because the ball is smaller and it's heavier.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, he got some height on it.
A little bit of trickery there from Allenson. Canham looking to try and create a yard for himself, but again, Indonesia showing discipline in defending. Well, Didi had it in between his legs and gets volleyed by Follett.
Yeah, but at the same token, he hasn't got it in his hands, so I mean, he's entitled to go for the ball. Yeah, he can't kick him, but he's entitled to go for the ball.
Well, that's the first foul for England, but there could be a chance here for Indonesia. Fired just wide. Andre it was that had pushed up there on the right-hand side. So we're going to see changes from both sides here as people get ready to come on and off. Indonesia have just changed their personnel. England have got all 4 bibbed players ready to come on. Call it to the far post. That's the ball in, isn't it? And that's where you've got to track that back post.
You've got to get across your defender, and that's what England don't do very well in this type of game.
Canham. Just cleared there by Jelani. Andy Penders has got a little bit more for us. Andy, what you got?
Just spoke to Graham Dell, the England coach. He says he's going to get his players, as you can see now, going to the corners of the pitch. They're going to try that for the next couple of minutes and see how they go.
So very much a learning curve for him, and then trying different things, different formations. And it does look, Steve, like you said, push players up and leave them back. And it could open up for them here, but Follett just hit the post.
Brilliant, and that's what I was trying to make the point of before, Paul. This game allows you to do that, experiment. If things are not going your way, change it. Give the opportunity and make the opposition think about the game a little bit more. I think they must do that because they can't match the Indonesians for movement. So try and smart them, if you like, in tactics.
Well, that's exactly what they've just done there, but they're going to have to defend here because the substitute keeper shoots. Will England shoot back? Yes, they do, and it's just over.
Good effort from Sykes, really good effort. Great vision, and he now scored a great goal as it happens.
Well, a little bit about him, hasn't he, Sykes, for the England team. So England testing, and England are looking to try different formations. Here Andy's got something for us from the Indonesians. Andy?
Yeah, Justin, the Indonesian coach, furious with Sayan. He's saying to him, don't shoot past the ball, because if you shoot, it puts you out of position.
Well, it does, doesn't it, Steve? Because...
Well, if they're not going to shoot, they're not going to score another goal, are they?
If it all opens up for him here, what would you expect him to do?
Exactly. And he's better shooting and passing it out of play.
Absolutely. That's an interesting one from the Indonesian bench. An interesting take.
See, with the instructions there the coach has just said to Sayan, he would have usually have gone through and had a shot at goal, and because he's been told not to, he's given the ball away.
Well, another good ball forwards, and England adopting the long ball tactic into the corner that we saw China do, not only this morning but yesterday. Well, the referee's blown the whistle there. The corner's taken, drilled straight against Socrates. It is a physically demanding game. Not only that, there are times when you have to put your body in the way. And Steve, I'm sure you can testify, after being struck in the face by many balls, it hurts, but with a heavier ball and a smaller ball, it can actually really smart and sting, can't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Paul.
England trying to push forwards. Again, Jelani is on the ball. Sayan. Oh, just run out of play there by Denny.
And they're running out of ideas as well, Paul. I mean, England, over the last 5 minutes or so, have changed the tactics, and fair play to them. And are giving Indonesia something to think about. You can see now the two players pushed up front, and the diagonal ball is working.
Pulled back. Good save. Sayan went down to his right-hand side, but good movement and better from England. Allenson it was with a shot. That's what you're talking about.
He pulls it back lovely, and there's the third man coming in, and he should have done better.
Can England score another goal? That's the question. You have to think that Indonesia have looked comfortable throughout this game, apart from possibly the first 5 minutes where England kept the ball extremely well. That one's drilled forwards. Holbrook trying to make something happen. It's deflected off him and goes out for a kick in. Here comes Sayan. You just sit there and try and pass it around and keep possession. Socrates. Sayan. That's where England need to be clever when they try and nick it. Brilliant skills from Jelani. Denny.
That's better now. Squeeze him. See, that's what you forced him into errors, Paul. That's what England must do, especially with that defender on the pitch in Sayan.
It's actually very, very tactical, isn't it, the game?
Yes, very tactical.
You can push, you can drop, you can squeeze. You don't have to play a goalkeeper. I mean, there's so much that you can actually do.
You've got license to do it, haven't you? And that's what's enjoyable about this game.
Could be a chance here, though. Flick forwards. Good save from Thornton.
But again, he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to make that save. He's run a long way with the ball. He should be closed down.
Jelani just rolling it back. Andy Penders is down pitch side. Andy, you've got some more news for us.
Well, just to let you know, both coaches are very quiet at the moment. It's almost as if they're absorbing their players' play and just seeing if they put into motion the tactics that they obviously set in play during the half-time. But very quiet on the benches.
Thank you, Andy. As Jelani and Sayan just play keep ball. This was how they scored one of their goals, Indonesia. Those two players just keeping it. Could be a chance here. Just poked away. Again, challenges flying in all over the place. It's Indonesia that are going to come away with a kick in as well. Both coaches a little bit quiet then, Steve?
Yeah, a little bit quiet because the game's quiet. I mean,
Is the game dead? Is it over?
Yeah, it's gone. It's over. And it's about what England do and how they change the game now. I would just leave one player up front. As I said, I'd bypass that. Holbrook should go past the 7, go past Cyan, make him make a decision. Now, if they break now. Now, if England, Holbrook pushes in right up front, he's going to put them under pressure. And I'd like to see a little bit more of that with England.
Great skills from Socrates, just couldn't keep that one in though. Madison it was that was strong in with the challenge. Here's Allenson.
Yeah, he's gangly, isn't he, Allenson?
Just keeps it. Played wide, here's Colley back on the field of play. Little give and go. That's gone Indonesia's way. Again, let's not forget, the clock does stop every time that the ball goes out of play. We will have a full 20 minutes of playing time. Holbrook now breaks forward, goes for the heart, but that's a poor pass, easily picked off by Andre. Could be a chance here for Jelani. Jelani pokes it. Good save. Was that a handball? Yes, said the second referee. Was it for you, Steve?
Yes, they can't complain. A clear handball. Yes, there's no complaints for me. I just think that you get punished here because it's almost impossible for Indonesia to score from this range. They've got to get 5 yards away from the ball. So for me, the keeper should stand in front. He can use his hands. He can be the blocker. He must have to shift the ball for them to score.
Cyan looking to be the first goal keeper who will score in this competition. Jelani looking as though he's going to tee him up. Played a different way though, and that's gone high from Mulana. And that's an awful shot, really, Steve. Expect a little bit more quality.
That's it. It's difficult to score your goal from there. And again, nobody coming in back post, which is a feature of England's play.
Scubala's back on the pitch. He's pushed into that far corner. Thornton looks up, tries to clip it in. Jelani's there. When you are trying something different like that, Stephen, pushing players on and pushing them wide, the quality still has to be there, though, of the ball and the delivery into that area.
Most definitely. I mean, you can play whatever tactics you like, but your ability must be first and foremost.
There's a chance here. Thornton's made an absolute boo-boo, and it's as simple as that. A little tapping through the legs, and Denny takes the ball, puts the ball up his shirt. England want to get on with it quickly, but Steve, again, basic sloppy errors.
But, I mean, England have created their own problems, and they've done okay at times, just okay, but you can't afford to give possession away in them sort of areas.
Didi has come back onto the field of play. Quick counter-attack from Indonesia. Shots fired in, and it's just hit the uprights. Well, you mentioned it, Steve, about the tactics in this game. Didi, the keeper, has come back on. Cyan has looked the most dangerous player that Indonesia have.
Yeah, so Indonesia are saying they've shortened the game up. They're going to win the game, and there's no two ways about that. But it's now they've just shored the game up. And is it good tactics? Probably yes. They've already done the damage, and now it's just relax and enjoy yourself.
Well, it is 6-1. The game has gone from England. It could be more here. Is that a penalty? No foul given. Sykes can't clear his lines. Chance here, though. Blocked down. Sukma was pushing in there, trying to create some problems, but that's gone far too long there for Kanem, and that's going to be an Indonesian kick-in. Andy Penders, you've got a little bit more for us.
Yeah, I just spoke to Danny, the goal scorer, very delighted with his goal naturally. He says that the Indonesians are very happy to sit back and defend and attack England on the counter-attack.
Trying to hit on the counter-attack, so just exactly what Steve McMahon had said. Just absorb a little bit of pressure, try and hit them on the break. The game's dead and buried. That's another foul then for England. 3 fouls. We have only seen one game go into foul trouble. That was last night, China versus Brazil. Brazil won 4-0. but they didn't score from the undefended free kick from the 10-metre spot. It was kind of fluffed. China committed 6 fouls and were punished for that, but got away with it. Better from England. Sykes shoots. Did it down quickly, but a quick counter-attack here, but Andre just couldn't get hold of that. Have a look in the upper reaches of the stadium. We see the Malaysian team warming up as well, Stephen. It's quite strange to look into a stadium and see that happen.
Yes, but I mean, if there's room and space to do so while the game's playing, yes, they're limbering up, they're warming up. There's nothing stopping them doing that. There's plenty of space in this arena.
So just 4 minutes to go in this game, and it could be a goal here for England. What a save from Didier.
Again, he's got to
good save.
Where the ball, or the ball should be played across for an easy tap in. And again, you've got to be unselfish and have a bit of vision to do that.
Here come Indonesia. Benny. Foul number 4 from England. We might just see them get into a little bit of foul trouble. Is that because of the way that the scoreline is, Steve? They've been a little bit overzealous in the challenge.
It's frustration, purely frustration, Paul. They know they haven't played well. They know they've got a lot to learn in this game, and they're not doing the manager proud at all.
Andre just squares it. Benny pokes it in, and again, poor defending from England. They turned off for that split second, and that was all it took for that to be just tucked in the corner. Benny with a goal.
It's just, I can't explain it. It really is poor defending. They know quite well they're going to shift the ball. You can see the man spare. You go and mark him and you block it.
Benny Hera will be overjoyed with that goal. He was the man that scored the own goal against Malaysia last night in what was an absolute intriguing game. It ebbed and flowed both ways, and it was 2 goals in 10 seconds from Malaysia that really decided it. But there's another chance here for Andre. Andre squares it and Benny misses it.
It's an open goal. I just think there was too much pace on it. It really was, and all it was a tap in if the pace is good.
So England really being punished here by Indonesia. You can only fear for them after Argentina put 12 past them. Indonesia put 7 past them. There's still Australia and Malaysia to come. What do you reckon?
I just think they've got to get organised. I think they should do a lot more defensively because they're not good enough going forward, Paul. So you've got to work out what you're good at and what you're not good at. And certainly England technically are not very good going forward, so they can do a lot defensively for me. That's what's letting them down.
Well, we saw that from China, didn't we,
yes,
against Brazil? I mean, they were magnificent, but there could be a chance here. Let's see how they are going forwards. It's opened up, and that's what you should do, but that's what you shouldn't do. Sykes did ever so well and squared it to the far post, but Canham has somehow missed the target.
He's just gone ahead of the ball. That's the situation. He can... maybe it's the pass, maybe the guy's just gone, Cannon has just gone forward too much, but it's a big miss.
That's cruel. Long ball forwards here, though, and, well, Anger trying a little bit of something spectacular, shall we say.
It's more than that. He could have got injured doing that.
It is a hard surface. It's a rubberized court that is played here. It's clipped together. It's sanctioned for this event. Did have 1 or 2 problems yesterday with the rain just dripping in a little bit. It has been repaired, so no such dramas today, although it is beautiful here in KL. Wonderful weather as we enter almost the final 2 minutes of this second half Group A encounter on Star Sports. England being well and truly punished by Indonesia. Would you like to see the keeper shoot there?
Yes, just go a bit, just take another couple of strides forward and hit it.
Cyan has come back on again, so the goalkeeper, who's not a goalkeeper, is on. Thornton has got space, fires it wide. Could be a chance for England here! And it's Sykes who scores. Well, it bobbled around all over the place. It looked as though it didn't want to go in, but Sykes, the right place at the right time.
Well, it's one of the first times I've seen an England player go to the back post. and he's got his just reward for doing so.
Here it is.
Yep.
Fired in from Madison. A little nick from Canham, and just fortunately for them, Sykes was at the far post. As we see a wonderful save there from Thornton this time. So a few smiles there on the England bench. They know it's going to be very, very difficult to get anything from any of these games. Let's get down to Andy Penders. Andy, you've got a little bit more for us from down there.
I just spoke to Graham. He's just bitterly disappointed with the finishing of the England team, but he says the difference is between futsal players and 11-a-side players, and the difference in the game is, you know, vast.
Well, it's totally different. Smaller pitch, smaller ball, but you do have to learn to adapt a lot quicker. If that's the case, Steve, with the development of futsal in England, then something's got to give. You have to create and make brand new players to play a brand new game. You can't ask 11-a-side players to come out here and expect to compete with some of the best in the world.
I agree, totally and utterly. I mean, we've got to develop players who can adapt to it. There's some fantastic, skillful players out there in England. There really is. But they need the stage, and they need to be doing it week in, week out to learn the rules, to get to grips with the way it's played, because tactically it's fascinating, and the way they rotate the players is fascinating. And once England come to terms with all that, then yes, they've got the players and they could be a force to be reckoned with, but only in a few years if they plough the money into it.
Well, they are pumping money in. 3 conference leagues will be created this year.